Hi, this is Sandhya. Today we're creating some shaker cards for Unity Stamp Company. I'm using alcohol ink backgrounds and we'll be creating one feminine and one masculine card. So using pinks and blues to make these cards. I start with a piece of poster board that is trimmed to a random size, and then I grab the patina and turquoise colors of Tim Holtz alcohol inks. The little white bottle you see here is just a fine tip nozzle bottle that I filled with 99% isopropyl alcohol. So the trick to getting these soft, wispy layers of ink is to start off by generously applying alcohol ink to the paper and then adding a few drops of the concentrated ink right on top. And then the tool you see me using here is just a simple hair dryer from Revlon. It has a low heat setting that allows me to play around and take my time with my alcohol and inks, and it does not warp the paper terribly. Another advantage of using poster board instead of UPO is that it is able to take a lot of heat and is super economical. So you can afford to mess up a few panels if you don't like them and just toss them and then start again. However, I think you can't really go wrong with alcohol ink. It's just personal preference. Some of us like them to be soft and wispy. Some like to create really dark, intense color splotches. So it's there's no real right or wrong here. It's just playing and having fun, and I think that's what really matters. So I'm going to continue playing with my alcohol inks and create two panels and turn on some music so you can watch the process and relax a little bit. As you can see over here, I've grabbed the flamingo and watermelon colors of Tim Holtz alcohol ink. I originally started off thinking I'm going to apply ink more diagonally, but then I end up kind of switching my mind. I decided to blow it off to one side of the panel and then kind of filled the diagonal half with alcohol inks. Again, instead of keeping on adding more and more of the ink, I kind of try to play more with alcohol and use the alcohol to pull out the ink that has already been applied at the top. So it kind of forms a darker area towards the top and then gets lighter and more wispy as I go towards the bottom. that I'm done with my alcohol ink panels, I put them aside and grab my StazOn pigment inks. I have the piano black as well as white. I think that's called the snowflake. I'm using a piece of acetate and holding it down with a little piece of washi on my MISTI stamping tool and stamping down the background stamp. The stamp set is called Infinite Birthday Wishes. It is a red rubber background created by Lisa Arana for Unity Stamp Company. It's one of my favorites for creating backgrounds for my birthday cards. Once I'm done stamping the white, I pull it out and set it aside. It takes less than 5 minutes to actually dry out. I grab another piece of the acetate and this time I'm stamping with piano black. Now what you don't see is the process in between. I do have to use a stamp cleaner to wipe off the StazOn ink and make sure my stamp is clean and dry before I ink it up again. I leave the acetate sheets to dry and then come back to build my shaker. So I have trimmed down the red and pink alcohol panel and I grabbed some sequins and double-sided tape. This is from scrapbook.com. I place the acetate on top of the alcohol ink background and then I snip off the 4 corners of my acetate sheet. I turn it around and then we'll go ahead and apply the double-sided adhesive on all 4 sides of the panel. Next, I'm going to start pulling the backing off the double-sided adhesive. I make sure to pull only the 3 sides and leave the 4th side intact because that's going to allow me to fill up the shaker before I stick it down. So now I position it on my acetate just the way I originally did. And I'm going to fold the acetate back and stick it down on the tape. So once you fold the acetate over, make sure to burnish it really nicely using a bone folder so that way it does not open up. Next, I'm going to pull some glitter out. I'm using flat glitter. These are little stars. I recommend using flat sequins or any glitter for this kind of shaker so that way your shaker remains flat and the sequins can actually move freely inside the little pouch that you've created. Next, I add some foam tape to the back of my little shaker and then I prepare my card base. This is 110-pound Nina Solar White that I have used to run through a 3D embossing folder, the one by We Are Memory Keepers, for added interest. I attach my panel down and this completes the card base. For my sentiment, I grab the Aging Gorgeously stamp set and stamp out and trim a little strip. Next, I stamp the butterflies from Hope in Uncertainty, the Kit of Month from Unity's April 2020 kit. These little butterflies are super cute, and then I use my Copic markers to color them very quickly. You will notice that I do not color all the way to the edges. I'm trying to create a soft alcohol ink look, mimicking what we have going on the background. Once I had the strip ready, I added two-way tape to the back of my sentiment strip. I also added little pieces to the back of the butterflies. While adding tape to the butterflies, I made sure to only stick down the center of the butterfly so I could gently fold or pop up the edges, so it gave, to get a little bit of dimension to the butterflies. I then added a little bit of Wink Stella for a little bit of shimmer on top of the butterflies, and this completes my card. So I get started with the second card. This time I position the acetate that I stamped with black ink right on top of the blue background that we created. I add the double-sided tape on all four sides to the back of my panel. However, remember, I'll only be peeling away 3 sides so that I can create my pouch and fill up my shaker elements easily. Now for the sentiment, once again I stamped on white cardstock from Aging Gorgeously. I create a little strip and add glue to it. I glue it down to a piece of alcohol ink background. This is a random piece I created. I just didn't like it, so I kept it aside. But here I'm going to be using it to mat my sentiment strip. So I adhere down the completed shaker piece on an A2 card base, and that completes my second card. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you liked my video, do hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. For links to supplies and lists, do look at the description section below. Thanks again for joining me and have a great day. Bye-bye.